This is where the fun begins.
Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Star Wars Deep Dive. So first thing that we need to understand is that to the common public eye, Luke Skywalker wasn't known as being a Jedi until after the time of the Empire. So during the time period of The Mandalorian Season 2, not many people knew that Luke was a Jedi. Instead, people knew the tale of Luke Skywalker as being a rebel pilot who was responsible for the destruction of the first Death Star. It wasn't until the time of the Resistance that the tale of Luke Skywalker was recognized as a Jedi Master. But going back to the Mando finale, we see when Luke arrives, Moff Gideon recognizes him almost immediately, even from his X-Wing. Now why is this? Well, Moff Gideon was an officer for the ISB, which stands for Imperial Security Bureau, which was a faction of the Empire that focused heavily on security, intelligence, and law enforcement. So taking this information and adding on to the fact that we know he was also a Moff for the Empire, we know right away that Gideon was in the inner circle of the higher-ups in the Empire, along with Palpatine, Vader, Tarkin, and possibly even Thrawn, which leads me to the theory that Gideon and Thrawn could be potentially working together, trying to revive the Empire. So now knowing what kind of role Moff Gideon played within the Empire, we can only assume that he had intelligence on Luke Skywalker, ranging from his fights with Vader, how powerful he's become, and even things like what kind of ship he flew. Immediately, when Luke arrives, we see the fear within Moff Gideon's eyes, because he realizes how much of a threat Luke is to the Empire and how powerful he's become. Something else that we can take a look at is the Dark Troopers and how they almost immediately detect Luke as a threat. Now we can only assume that Moff Gideon programmed them to either detect Luke or his X-Wing, perhaps installing something into their software. Now if we segue back to the people that were in the room with Luke Skywalker, the only people I think that would recognize him is potentially Bo-Katan or Cara Dune. Now the reason as to why I think Bo-Katan might know of Luke Skywalker is because she knew his father Anakin, and they met during the Siege of Mandalore during the time of the Clone Wars. And as for Cara Dune, we know that she was a shock trooper for the Rebellion, so it isn't out of reach to say that she has at least heard of Luke Skywalker. Alright guys, that wraps up today's video. Hit that like and subscribe button if you guys want to see more content Star Wars related. But before I leave, I just want to leave you guys with some questions. Do you guys think we'll see Thrawn in Mando Season 3? Will Din Djarin become the Mandalore? Leave a comment below so we can talk some Star Wars.